Good afternoon or good evening. Happy Thursday. What's going on, Todd? How are you doing today?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. Out of my element, but I am doing well.
Yeah, good. Good catching up with you. I'm glad we got to talk a little bit. We've both been kind of busy. You've been doing your own thing, and I've been busy with what's going on in my life. Sean,
And
we
you
all been busy.
you have been playing War Hero.
No, 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 not the least. Um, but that is good. There's a lot going on, and we know there's a lot going on around the world. But we do appreciate you guys taking some time to join us tonight to kind of recognize and celebrate the top anglers from our North County Challenge. So again, tonight the main focus is primarily on those individuals that are backstage that we're going to bring forward, introduce them, talk to them for a little bit, and then we're going to go jump into the Tenoroc Saddle Creek event, talk about that, and kind of for folks that aren't familiar with that body of water and kind of what that looks like, we'll talk and provide all the updates in regards to that, and then we'll go through AOY and where you guys may line up in regards to Angler of the Year, and just talk and answer any questions that you guys may have. Right now we just reached past that midway mark of our season, so our next event I think is our fifth event. The fifth out of the eighth regular season event, and then our ninth event will be our 2-day championship. So we're more than halfway done this year. Time sure has flown by. Super excited and interested to see how everything kind of shakes out moving forward into the home stretch of the 2026 season. We've given away some pretty cool trophies so far. Looking forward to giving away a big one at the championship this year and our AOI. We're going to do something special for that as well. So super cool, super excited, and doing some different and new and exciting things. So, but yeah, again, the main reason today is really just to highlight our anglers. It looks like in the background here, we got two of those anglers. We'll bring them forward here in just a second, talk with them. I know one of them's getting ready to go up and fish the Classic. So I know he's going to be getting off fairly soon and heading up north. And then we're going to talk to Fred Anderson as well and talk to him about his day on the water. So you guys are cool with it. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on to the front of the stage, and we're going to bring them up both at the same time. All the other ones weren't able to hop on. So if they do, I'll bring them back up onto the stage as they linger in the back there. So yeah, welcome Chris and Fred. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good, man. Pleasure to have you. And Mitchell, I see you're on here. I see your blue trophy there off to your right. So hopefully you take home another one of those here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
A week or two.
I need to add to the collection.
Right. I think you got a big enough collection back there. I think the last time we spoke, you said you're running out of check room. So on the wall.
Yeah. They're going into my windowsill now. I'm just not going to have any sunlight in here anymore. So
that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have there. So.
Yeah.
Well, what you need now is you need to start winning some little ditties to fill up the little spots,
True. That is a good point.
Or hang up some more of them shelves you got behind you there and and we'll start giving out trophies too instead of the checks. So we'll transition from checks to trophies and see how that holds up. So
that worked for me.
Fred, how you doing, man? How's everything? How's life?
I'm doing good. I was gonna say Mitchell can send me some of his stuff to hang up on my wall. I think I only have 2 or 3 I can hang up behind me. So, but I'm working on it. So, everything's good.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate both of you guys taking time out of your day to really hop on here and talk again. The main reason we're wanting to do this one is to just highlight you guys, give you guys an opportunity to kind of get out there. I know, Mitchell, you got your own platform, but on YouTube and whatnot. So, Fred, but this is an opportunity for you guys to introduce yourself, And then we'll talk a little bit about the North County Challenge, what your guys' thoughts were on it, and go from there. But Fred, I'll kind of let you go first. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, what got you into kayak fishing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Fred Anderson, I'm from Winter Garden, Florida. I've fished now on this trail as when it started, when it took over from the previous trail. So I've been around for a long time, still fishing out of my small feel-free kayak, which I do like. Talking to Todd after this competition, I'm like, I really need to upgrade. And I'm like, I don't know if I would have gotten some of the spots that I got to with a bigger kayak. So I'm keeping mine. I know, Chris, I think you kind of downgraded yours, but yeah, I've been around for a while. I like these county challenges. I did well in the South. Just lucked out there, and I pre-fished just a little bit for this one. I'll say the lake I ended up in Wildcat, and I pre-fished there, and I caught one fish. And then I pre-fished Lake Yale that I fished a bunch of years ago when I had a sit-in, and I remembered I went back there and I couldn't catch anything. So I guess I'll pick the lake where I caught one fish. So I went into it with really no hopes, just for a beautiful day. It's a beautiful lake, and I think I met Granger for the first time.
Oh wow!
Anonymous at the ramp, and I don't know what happened to him. I think he didn't have a good outing because I didn't see him on the way out. We were the only two out there.
Really? Yeah, it looks like looking at the leaderboard, he didn't submit anything there. So I'd imagine the bite there was fairly tough. So.
Yeah, it really was. I went to the one spot where I found my one fish, and I caught it right away in the morning, probably 7:15, a little 14-incher. I'm like, okay, at least I caught one fish. We all know how that feels. The importance of grabbing that first one, even if it's a small one, and then nothing really happened. Stayed in a little cove, and I'm like, well, let me just go punch this grass line over here because I do like punching a lot. And I was able to snag probably 3 hours later around 10 o'clock, snagged a little other 13-incher. I'm like, okay, let me stay in this area, and kept punching, and nothing happened. So I said, hey, it's just going to be one of these days. It's beautiful out here. Let me just enjoy it. Went to a couple of other spots, started. Not that I panicked. I've been doing it long enough where it's just fishing. So why panic? Just go out there having fun. But I found myself fishing styles that is not me. I went to some clear water, tried to see if there was some fish spawning that I moved in, couldn't find anything. So I said, you know what the heck? I'm going to go over to the opposite side of the lake. And then it was about, probably 1 o'clock. Found some more grass, started flipping, punching. This one was flipping on, and I missed one. So I'm like, okay, there's probably some fish in here. And then after, about, I think it was 1:45, I pulled out. Took me forever to grab it out. It was one of those when you're punching and you can see the head, right? And you just can't get it back out. And it's just, grass catching and everything. But I was able to land it. And I said, all right, cool. This made it all worth it. I got my 20.5, I think it was, at 1:45. So I'm like, this is cool. This made the trip worth it. I might as well stay in this area. I snagged another one, punching a small one, about 14 inches. And then I'm like, okay, well, at least I can catch a limit. I had no idea that I was going to be up on the leaderboard. And then nothing for another hour. And then here comes 2:45. I hook into something big. It was, 20, whatever it was, 20
21 and a half.
Yeah, 21 and a half. I'm like, whoa. I was able to land that. I'm like, at least I probably made it top 10. I never checked the leaderboards. Rarely. You see it when you upload your fish, right?
Yeah.
On Tourney X. But after that, I'm like, whoa, this made it all worth it. And then I got the news at the meetup. So yeah, all in all, I lucked out. I stuck with my style that I think it's important, and I found the fish at the end. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, you definitely snuck up there. You edged out Jason Leach with that 21 and a half to take third place there, which is huge, right? So that was super exciting. I think out of the whole day, we had 29 anglers and only 126 fish were caught. But looking back at it, right across that entire county, it looks like we only had like 15 limits that were caught. So half the field, just a little bit over half the field, were able to catch a limit, which never going to those lakes before, ever hosting a tournament there, you never really know what you're stumbling across. I mean, this was a concept that, quite a few of the anglers kind of, said that they were interested in wanting to try out. So we're like, hey, let's give it a shot. So what did you think about the concept? I know you went on a hunch and fished the lake there, which ultimately paid off, right? With 2 fish over 20 inches, right? And putting you in third place with 82.5 inches, kind of what was your thought on that concept in the lakes in that area?
No, I love it because it gives you a chance to pick your style. If you have the time to pre-fish, or even if you don't have the time to pre-fish, you can at least map it out and see what's good, right? So yeah, I like the choices. Obviously, less crowded. I thought there was going to be a lot more people at the lake I chose.
Yeah.
Figure a few people were going to be at Lake Yale. So I was a little surprised with that. I did go, funny story, but I was going a couple of weeks before visiting my daughter in Georgia. I wasn't going fishing. It was just me and my wife. I'm like, let's drive through the Ocala Forest. There's a ramp I want to check out. And it was I forgot the lake name. I think you ended up closing it because it was a fire going on there. And she's not a fisherwoman. So I take her down this dirt path and we find this ramp and she looks at me like, this is where you're going to fish? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Cause I got to drag my kayak about 50 yards through the mud. But, but I do like the challenge of finding the lake, right? It's not like you're going to Lake Toho. A lot of us has fished there and we do our regular run and hoping that we'll hook into some big fish. This one, it's more, hey, I get to fish a lake I probably wouldn't have fished on my free time, right? I really enjoy that format for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. We appreciate that feedback because last year we opened it at the end of the season. We opened it up and took a lot of feedback and implemented a lot of that into this year. So we're just wanting to hear the anglers' feedback as they come on what their thought processes are with us getting away from those big lakes that you're going to hit with your Bassmasters, with the Bass Nation, with the folks, the Team Kayak Series that's now coming down to Florida, Kayak Adventure Series. We can't take the concept. We didn't come up with a Kayak Adventure Series after we did the Ocalapalooza. It really got us thinking like this is definitely something. We got a lot of untapped potential there in Florida from those smaller lakes that are kind of back in the backwoods that kind of get away from those heavy pressured lakes. I was surprised. I thought personally there's going to be more fish caught. But going back at it and looking, there was some good, decent quality. I know there's a bunch of big fish that live and lurk back in there. After speaking with Denton, who I just found out at the captain's meeting worked out there, and speaking with him, there's a lot of they kind of manage it the same way Tenoroc does in regards to like the wildlife management and the biology, like doing the science part of it. And he says throughout the years that they go out, years past, that they've shot 10 plus pounders out there, which I'm not shocked. I definitely thought we were going to see a mega one caught, but around that time. But I know they're out there. We might host another event at some point up there again, as long as the feedback's good. We look at numbers for participation, and 29 anglers makes it. That might be a kind of a little too far north, so we'll try to find other more local style bodies of water like that to kind of dial it back to where we can try to maximize participation with it. But I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you went on a hunch and you got your 82.5 inches, which was that you only caught 5 fish.
5 fish and
wow.
that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like when I do good, just go on a hunch. Don't overanalyze, at least for me.
Right.
Just go out and have fun. I'm like, hey, this looks like there's fish in here.
Right. And your key bait there for those 2 big bites you said were punching?
Yeah, just punching, just whatever, Z-Man, craw, goat, whatever I use. I like those because they hold up. The grass was so thick, so I had to downsize a little bit. I had a bigger craw that barely got through.
Yeah.
I try to keep my weight to between an ounce and a half. I don't like the 2 ounce. It's too, so it's paid off.
Well, that's good, man. Well, I appreciate you, Fred, from hopping on and taking time out of your day. But I'm also super grateful and glad that you were able to take home a check,
Yeah.
and hope to see your name at the. I mean, we see your name at the top of the leaderboard, but hopefully it continues moving forward through the end of the season to where you can use this as a little what do they call it? Progression, not progression, but a way forward moving into a little bit of speed moving into the final events of the year. Are you planning on fishing Tenoroc?
Yeah, I mean, I missed. I had, I printed out the calendar earlier in the year when it came up and highlighted a few events. I did miss a few for family reasons,
Yeah.
so I have to rework it a little bit. I was not going to fish it, just for the simple reason that I suck out of Tenoroc and I've fished there a lot of times. So maybe this is my chance to go back and prove myself wrong. So yeah, I do have to pick up one or two more tournaments for sure.
So the one thing I will say, if it's Tenoroc fishing it a lot, it is there's a lot of fish in those lakes, a lot of a good opportunity to catch a lot of fish, but you are gonna have to dial in a lake and in a bite. Saddle Creek is also an option too. If you've never been able to go back over behind Tenoroc and fish those, there's no gate or anything that it's open. There's public boat ramps right off that main road there. You can go left or right on whichever side of the road you want to go on. And it's very similar. Good fish out there too. But Tenoroc, if it's a lot of fun, you can catch some big ones out there, but it is known to break some hearts. So yeah. Well, Fred, I appreciate you hopping on. We'll move you to the back. If you want to stay on, you're more than welcome to. But again, we really do appreciate you hopping on, and we can't wait to see you at the Rock. And hopefully it's a different story this time. Hopefully you're back up on the leaderboard.
Well, that's fishing. It's always if it's good one day, it's bad the next day. If it's bad one day, it's better the next day. So you'll probably see me out there. But I appreciate the opportunity, all the hard work you guys put in. So,
yeah, Fred, man, we appreciate you and we appreciate your feedback. So we send me a message anytime, let me know, and we're grateful to have you guys be a part of the club for sure.
Yeah,
so
appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Fred, and we'll see you around.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Bye, Fred.
All right, so we're get to Mitchell here before he falls asleep or has to go get some of his dinner, his chicken nuggets. So
yeah,
how's everything going with you, Mitchell?
I'm tired. I've been nonstop all week between work and trying to get ready for this tournament coming up in Tennessee, but chug it along.
You got the Classic coming up, so that's huge. I think looking back at, I think Bass sent something, but you, Sherman Bishop, Blake Abbey, who else is Florida anglers that are going to compete this year?
Derek Martouche.
Yep.
I made the list. I don't know. Richard White. Richard White, and there's one more. I think it was just Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman. I saw them, but nonetheless, I think we have like 5 or 6 anglers from Florida that are going to be traveling up to Tennessee to compete in the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, right alongside the Classic for the boaters, which is something that they do every year, which is pretty cool. So we're super excited to see you guys go up there and be successful. Hopefully, you guys have safe travels going up there, and even more so be safe while out on the water. We want to have you guys come back home down to Florida, safe and sound. So super excited. We're ready to hear all about it and see the videos that are posted following it. But yeah, man, super excited for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've been watching videos on it. It looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks a lot of fun. So
the 2 bodies of water that they're fishing are known for really big bass, and as a lot of people may have seen on Nickajack, the Tennessee state record was just caught on Nickajack. What was it, 29 inches, 15 something pounds, I believe.
I'm going to bring Fred back on. I'm bringing you back on, Fred. If you're going to stay on, I'll bring you up here so you can enjoy the conversation.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, so what's the plan? You going up there camping? You guys going up together? What are you guys doing?
I'm going camping. Staying with friends is cool and all, but I like to stay by myself a lot of the times, just so I can just focus on everything I need to do between the videos and fishing and everything else. I just like to stay on my own. But I'm going camping, which it's probably a mistake because the weather's looking like it's gonna rain every day, but it ain't nothing new. I'm used to the
Yeah.
weather.
Well, you got a generator and stuff too, and I'm sure there's going to be enough people up there if it gets bad that you can reach out to and kind of bunk with if they got an extra room or whatnot. So that'll be the experience itself is going to be fun. You ain't going to have to travel as far. I don't know if it's about an 8 to 10 hour drive up there, possibly. So
yeah, it's like 8 hours. So
yeah, so that's exciting. You leave Saturday after the Bass Nation event on Stick Marsh and Headwaters. So yeah, that's exciting. That's going to be a fun event for you guys on Stick Marsh and Headwaters. So
yeah, it's going off right now. I mean, we're gonna have to navigate around a lot of boats.
Yeah.
A
So
lot
for
of
those,
boats.
yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Headwaters Hog Hunt is happening as well. So for the Bass Nation, if people are fishing bass, it's a great opportunity to double dip. It's a boat tournament, but they also allow kayak anglers to enter as well. I think the entry fee is $70. It's a boat team tournament, and kayaks you can team up with somebody else too. So kayaks can also team up. But that is that's something that is going on this Saturday as well on Headwaters. Yeah, Bass Nation, Headwaters Hog Hunt, and then back in what is it? Are we in April? I think we're in April, right at Stick Marsh and Headwaters.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the following month, so get out there, go fish. It's a great opportunity for you guys to do some pre-fishing, but also have a chance to walk away with some money. If you want to sign up, if you're not fishing Bass Nation and you want to go out there and pre-fish and try to make some money, sign up for both. I encourage it. It'd be a fun opportunity to win some money for sure. And there's gonna be some big fish caught out of there. I'm excited to see what's going on in that neck of the woods. So yeah, Scott Gibbons, I believe he went out there and won first place last year with one of the other. I think were you by yourself, Scott, or who were you with? He was with another angler from the club.
Was he with Chris?
I'm trying to think. I saw the pictures, but yeah, if you guys have questions about it, reach out to Scott Gibbons. That's his home lake. But I posted about it on our Facebook page a couple weeks ago. It's definitely Chris Parker. Yeah, it was with Chris.
Yep.
So yeah, it's fun. It's a good opportunity for you guys to beat up on some bass boaters and say, hey, y'all outfish the boaters on Headwaters. So I don't think they would like that too much, but you guys kayaks can get to a lot of good places that those boaters can't get to. So give it a shot, try it out. But Mitchell, congrats, man. So for those of you that haven't seen or live under a rock, Mitchell took home first place in our North County Challenge. So, man, I'm going to turn this over to you, kind of talk a little bit about your pre-fishing and everything that went into the event and kind of what led ultimately to your success with 92 inches.
All right, so pre-fishing, it started off bad because I went to one lake that I thought it might be good, but ended up not really catching anything out there besides like a bunch of little ones. So the next time I was able to pre-fish, went to another chain of lakes. I went to Holly, and I just liked how the layout was. The between Holly and Sellers, there was like completely different kind of water. Like Sellers looked like I was in an aquarium, and Holly, it looked like I was in just regular Florida water, which is what I like. So found the water I liked and just really picked it apart as best I could, along with some help from Blake. I was out there with Blake, and we were just kind of talking and found some stuff, and ultimately just found one area with the scope, knew that they were there, and just sat on it on tournament day. Just sat in one spot all day and just dragged a worm that's just soaked a the ocho, a 6-inch ocho, just sit there and soak it because they did not want anything reaction wise. They just wanted that straight tail worm, nothing else, no speed worm, nothing. And yeah, that's how I just pretty much fished. Kind of boring, just sitting there, not flipping and none of the cool stuff. But yeah, I knew they're there and just kind of had to wait it out.
Yeah, I watched your video for your recap for the event, and you literally you were sitting in one spot and just turning, and you were explaining how brutal it was just dragging that Cinco across that grass that was over there. But you dialed in on what they wanted, and I mean it's a long game, but at the end of the day, you got some key bites, and you're able to put them into the boat. So that's
Yeah.
talking about the boat. What led for those of you that don't know, Mitchell's now probably on his third kayak this season. So he went from the Bonafide XTR over to the Bonafide RVR, right? So for those of you that haven't followed Mitchell, every time he gets a new kayak, it's a win. He has a win in the next like 2 or 3 events following that. So, I don't find that to be coincident, but it's kind of how it seems. So how are you liking the RVR?
I love it. I just love being able to just throw that thing in the bed of my truck and go, and not have to worry about a trailer and like bearings and parking. Parking was like one of the biggest pain.
Yeah.
I had to deal with, especially with traveling like outside of Florida. It just becomes a burden in the back of my mind when I'm just traveling 8 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get rid of that, and just kind of wanted to simplify my fishing a little bit more, because getting into a bigger kayak with adding a bunch of these different things just got too much in my mind. And I just wanted to kind of simplify it and have something, since I'm traveling a lot more now with going to different states for the Bassmaster. I never know what kind of water I'm going to get into, and I just wanted something that I could do a lot of different things in. It might not be the best for one thing, but it could still kind of do it.
Yeah.
But I'm able to get into like creeks and stuff that I wouldn't be able to do with the XDR, and that's kind of how I've fished this past tournament for Bassmaster on the St. John's. I would not have been able to fish the way I did with the XTR, because I would not have been able to move around. So I'm about to post. I'm about to post that video tonight after this. So
nice. Heck yeah.
I've got a question about the kayaks. How does that RVR compare to the links that you used to have? Because they're both small, light, glide. I'm just kind of curious.
I feel like I don't have to be as gentle with it. I have to be like super gentle with the links, even if I just like drop a pair of pliers or something. It could dent the links, and it's very fragile. But fishing wise, you get blown 10 times faster across the lake with the links than you would with the RVR.
Yeah.
So
and you got a stern mount on this one too. So
yeah,
you got the ability to put a stern mount and foot pedals. I mean, you got a smaller platform, but at the end of the day, you still got all of the necessities, right, that you need to be maneuvered, to be able to have that increased maneuverability and get to your spot a little bit faster than you would with any other kayak. So good. Yeah.
So I got a good round base of a platform, so I'm happy with it.
It looks like he's got a 65-inch screen on the front of that thing.
Yeah, that was a little bit much, but scope is almost crucial at this point in these tournaments, and I had to sacrifice a little bit of room up there just to have it. The 12-inch screen is like night and day between a 10-inch screen, so I just decided to stay with the 12-inch and just keep it up there.
I mean, you're able to get it done, and whatever you got to fish to what, like Fred was saying, right? You got to fish to your comforts, right? And what makes you less stressed, what you're used to initially, right? So at the end of the day, you try new things, which is good, right? Because you never know unless you're going to try it. But at the end, we know you, and we know what that's going to look like. Next year, we'll be having the same conversation when the next flashy kayak comes out at ICAST. But nonetheless, it makes good YouTube channel watching on YouTube. So for those of you that don't know, go subscribe to Mitchell. If you guys want to come down to Florida and fish and know what it's all about, go watch his YouTube channel because he gives you tips and tricks and everything. So super cool, super fun to watch. But
Thanks.
again, for you, Mitchell, you wound up with 92 inches, right? So you had 2 fish over 20 inches as well, and I think you tied for big bass, right? You tied with Jeffrey Nearson, but he caught his before you. But tell us a little bit about the big fish. What kind of keyed you in on those 2 big bites there?
Well, so like I said, I knew that I could see them on the scope, but they just weren't reacting. So after I caught a few, I kind of moved down a little bit just to give it a break. I like moved down the bank to give it a break and try a different spot. That different spot wasn't happening. So then I moved back up to try it again. But this time, like at the beginning, I was using a caffeine shad. And I wasn't really getting that many bites. I was probably got like 1 or 2. When I came back, that's when I decided to change to the black and blue Ocho. Just because it was in practice, it was overcast and windy. And I think they really liked that whitish ghost shad color of that caffeine shad at that time. And on tournament day, it was bright sunny skies. There was a little bit of wind, but it was just super bright. So I was like, maybe they want something dark, not something flashy, because they weren't even chasing anything either. So and when I came back, that's when I decided to change to the Ocho. And I think my first cast back in there, it bit so light, I barely felt them on there, and I don't think she was hooked very well. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I hooked her, I knew it was a big one.
Yeah, was that the one that you caught? The 22 is the one you caught in the pads there. Were you in? No, that which one? No, that I think that was another video I just watched. So the 22 is still in that same open water area.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm getting mixed up with one of the other videos that you posted where you had a fish kind of tangled up in the pads, but I don't think there were any pads where you.
Oh no, that's the one. That's the one I showed you from the St. John's. I'm about to post here soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. That makes sense. So
So
yeah. No.
with your Ocho, are you fishing it weightless or are you fishing it with the weight? How you got it rigged?
In that situation, I was fishing at weightless with the 4 extra wide gap and 10-pound fluorocarbon.
Really?
Because
Wow.
I wanted it to sink as best as it could with like as most natural as I could. Because if you're putting like 15 or 17 on there, it's not going to sink as well.
Yeah.
You know,
or fast.
Right. And so I put 10-pound on there, and I'm just letting it kind of drift along with the current of the wind, and just getting it in their face. Because if it sunk too fast, then it'll just go right by them, and they didn't care. And but I wanted something that's just kind of bobbing around.
Eating a peanut butter and jelly and drinking a ghost, waiting it and watching it.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, but it worked out.
And I'm telling you, I've caught some of the biggest fish that I've caught on a weightless fluke, dead sticking it in like 26 foot of water. So, and just letting it sink, and the fish just annihilated. So it's painful, but I mean, it'll get the job done like it did here. So, I mean, and the thing is you stayed in one spot, one little area of that lake, and fished all day long, right? And to me, knowing you and watching how you fish and have been around you for a little while, that must have been very hard for you to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of different times where I'm like, do I go try this other spot? But like again, I knew that they were there, and I knew that other competitors saw me there, like just beeline it right to there. So I wanted to protect it, but then there was other times I'm like, I'm not getting a bite. So do I move? Do I not move? Yeah, it was a hard decision, but
it paid off, right? So
yeah.
Just think of that. Keep that same mentality though. Whenever you're going up there and fishing in the classic, find something like, give it a chance. Just give the spot a chance, and then but also go with your gut. So keep going with your gut, and hopefully hopefully you get to play around with the scope a little bit like you did in North Carolina, a little bit of deeper water, and have some fun with the smallmouth up there too. So that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm so
Opportunity.
excited.
And the smallmouth are big there too.
Yeah.
They're 20 inches easy.
Yeah.
Plus.
Trust me,
They're nice.
I
They're
got
fun.
away moving up here and getting to focus on and like kind of target smallmouth. That is the most exhilarating fish to catch. Like I caught one or two when we went to Kentucky Lake for the KBF championship, but they were small, like just really small. They're going to be big and it's going to be fun. I'm excited to kind of see the videos that come out of there from all those anglers that go up there and plan on fishing, because I've heard and seen people that have fished it here in the past couple months, and it's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a great place.
But super excited, man. I'm super happy for you. Pumped that you were able to take home first place there. You got a cool one-of-a-kind mirror trophy from Dave there too, which is pretty cool. If you want to show that off real quick. So, yeah, Dave has been doing a bang-out job with these custom mirror trophies. There's something a little bit unique and different, which is really cool. So, Dave, again, we appreciate you guys doing that. We got something really exciting, a design that's coming out for the next one. I think it's Tenoroc, or it might be the one after. Dave was shooting them in the group chat, so it should be. I think it would have fit more for the North County because of the Ocala National Forest, but it'll be good for the next one. It'll be fun. So super pumped to see how it turns out. But again, guys, Fred, Mitchell, both of you guys, thank you guys for taking the time. Again, we're going to transition. What I do want to do is I do want to pop up some photos that we're taking there. So up in front of me here, just kind of highlight some of the payouts. So total payout for this event was just under $1,600, with Chris Mitchell taking home, and this is based off of the 29 anglers. Chris Mitchell took home $652. Blake in second place, he took home $391. Fred finished in third, and he was able to take $261 home. And then we had our Hobie Eyewear Big Bass, Jeff Nearson, with $145, which then pushed $145 over to the overall lunker contribution, putting us just under $1,000 for that FKBT Lunker of the Year at $905, which is huge. Hopefully that'll get to where I think around $2,000 by the end of the season, which is really, really cool. And also want to pull up the Angler of the Year, where we're at for the top 10. So we got Blake Abbey with $525, staying at first place. Jeff Gallagher there was $458.75. Jason Leach in third place, our last year's Angler of the Year champion, at $452.75. Evan Fracasso with $433.75. Richard Bruce, $397.25. Then we got Thomas Woodring, a prior Angler of the Year champion, at $391. Chris Mitchell here with $385.75, another Angler of the Year winner. Then we got Kylie Short with $351.25. Ryan Dills with $338.75, and then rounding out the top 10 is Mr. Robert Oakley, which is really cool. A lot of big hitters heavy hitters up there, and a lot can happen between now and there it is. Yeah, 2024 Angler of the Year. Yeah, super excited. You know, there's a lot that can happen. I know Blake Abbey's sitting at 500, but it's not out of contention, right? Because it all is based off of your ability to catch 5 fish, right? So what you catch in an event is what you earn towards your AOI points. So, and if you catch a limit, you get an extra 10 points. So catching a limit based off of the AOI, I'm going to pull up. You're probably having a hard time seeing it, but if you look at the top of the leaderboard, Blake has caught a limit. The top 2 places have caught a limit in each one of those events, right? So that's given them an extra 50 points right there, purely off of just catching a limit. And then you see in the top 7 there, you know, those anglers have only missed the limit in one out of the 5 events. So for those of you, I know that's hard to see here on the screen, but I just posted the Angler of the Year points on our the Florida Kayak Bass Trail official Facebook page there. If for some reason you can't find it on the feed, you can go to the files tab and you can see all the files that the club has uploaded. It's going to be there that you can look at it. But again, too, for those of you that don't know, Jeffrey Nearson, this gentleman, right, where is he at? I thought I pulled up one of his photos, but Jeff, he came all the way down from Minnesota. He's like 3 hours away from me and fished our event. from Minnesota. So super pumped and grateful that he came down and competed and was able to take home a check and some sunglasses. He's also fished the Bass Nation St. John's event, and then I think he's planning on fishing the Kayak Adventure Series event that's in Northwest Florida later on next month. So if you guys are interested, go look up Kayak Adventure Series. They'll be hosting their event in the northwestern part of Florida here in April. So super fun event, super cool, format and what they do there. So give that a look. But also too, I want to take this time to highlight Daryl Harrelson if he's on here as well. So something cool and unique that we did this year, right? So he was the first place finisher in our 2025 Top 25 Challenge. He took home, how many inches? 564 inches was his top 25 bass. So something we did, he had no idea. No one had no idea. He took home one of a kind custom top 25 trophy at the last event. We presented it to him there. So give him a round of applause, shake his hand whenever you see him. That was a year-long tournament that he devoted a lot of his time, money, and energy to. So we had I'll just say Jeff graciously donated, he said, hey, I think we really need to, highlight, what Daryl did in the year-long challenge where, he put in a lot of time and effort and caught a lot of really good fish. And he's like, hey, reach out to Catch and let's get a trophy made. And he's like, whatever it costs, I'll pay for it. So if you guys see Jeff too, say thank you, because he graciously donated the funds that allowed the club to design and come up with that trophy. So thank you, Jeff, for that. And Daryl, congratulations. Sorry I couldn't be there to present the trophy to you, but I know Todd and those guys did it right. So super, super grateful for that. We do have the Top 26 Challenge that's going on right now for those of you that are interested and want to sign up for that. It's the same format. It's a year-long tournament, and you can scan the QR code right above my head here, and that'll take you right to the Tourney X link to get registered. But again, what that allows you guys to do is you travel around the country, not just in Florida, any public body of water in the United States is eligible, and you can submit your fish when you're pre-fishing for the Bassmaster, you're fishing a Kayak Adventure Series event, the Team Kayak Series, any of those national level events, or you moved out of Florida and you want to still compete against some of the guys in the club. We got someone from Michigan, fishing in this event and submitting fish to it. So it's just a fun, cool opportunity for you to stay involved. And when you're out fun fishing, have a chance to take home a pretty cool trophy and some money at the end of the year. So get involved with that. It's super fun, low threat. The only thing I will say is make sure you have the code in your photos. That's the biggest thing I see is people go out and pre-fish and they forget that they're in this Top 26 Challenge. And I can't tell, Chris Mitchell probably, didn't submit 10 plus 20-inch fish last year, which could have changed the whole thing just because you forgot your identifier. So what I would say is if you are competing all across the different tournament platforms, what I would suggest is just get one of our identifier cards. It don't even have to be on our identifier card. As long as it says TP26 on it, we're going to approve it, and just make sure it's present in the photos. But I do want to, as we get into that, I want to highlight our top 26 leaderboard as of right now. And right now in first place, we have Dwayne Dwyer, who's from Northwest Florida, who's come down and fished our event. He's also the FKBT Lunker of the Year winner, our leader at this moment. He's sitting in first place with 495 inches and 495 and a quarter inches right now for his top 26. He does have a limit. And then in second place, Daryl Harrelson with 473 and a half inches. And then we have Albert Poor in third with 443 inches. And he's also the current big bass leader with a 24-incher for that event. So really cool. A lot of fish are being caught there. Definitely wanted to kind of give it a shout out again for those of you that might not know that exists. You just go into Tourney X or scan this QR code and register. We are going to be doing payouts for this event based off of the percentage of people that sign up. And then our hopes is to do another unique trophy like we did this year. Not sure what that is. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind, a unique one. But again, love to see you guys get signed up and compete in that front as well. So good luck to all those anglers. Keep up the hard work. Keep on fishing. And yeah, best of luck to the rest of 2026 for all of you that are competing there. A lot to come from that. I think I see a comment in here. Yeah, hey Jeff, man, hey, good luck too. Not sure what your future plans are, but and if anyone is planning on fishing the Kayak Adventure Series, you guys will see Jeff out there as well. So, but yeah, no, huge congrats to everyone, Fred, Chris. You know, very very grateful to have you guys be a part of the club. We always welcome the feedback. A lot of conversations with Mitchell on how we can make our club, better. Right? We solicit that we solicit that feedback and hope to be as open and transparent as possible. So, always reach out to us if you need anything. I know I probably won't be as reachable here in the near future, but reach out to Todd, Sean, Jeff, Dave, whoever, and they'll be able to take good care of you. And then I'll be here when I can be here to kind of carry that forward. So, but yeah, Fred, Chris, I'm going to remove you guys from the stage here. Thank you guys for spending the last 45 minutes with us, and we'll see you around.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Yep.
See you guys. Congrats.
All right. Oops, sorry. I still have Jeff on here. There you go. All right. Mitchell's still waving. Well, that was awesome, man. Love Chris and Fred, the amazing people. So super thankful for them hopping on tonight. Todd, again, I appreciate you guys holding the fort down there on the home front and making sure that, each event that we have kind of goes off without a hitch. So super grateful for that. And, super grateful for Sean taking the time and traveling 8 hours plus for each event this year. On the road, he has a family, right? A lot of stuff going on. So, and he's able to take that time out of his day or out of his weekend to go to spend time and do what he does for the club. So I probably don't say it enough, but I do want to say it publicly. Thank you guys for all that you do in making the club.
You hold the record for the most miles driven for a tournament.
A single event. I don't know. I think
single
Sean,
event. For a single event. Now Sean probably holds it on multiple events.
Yeah.
Overall, but you hold it for the single event.
Yeah, and that goes to Jeff too. He traveling, man, like traveling all the way from Minnesota. I know he comes down at pretty much every year, and in around the same time, all the trails kind of kick off in the south side. So anytime anglers travel to come fish the events, we had another guy from Canada that was down that fished our event last in the North County Challenge too. So super pumped. I love seeing how the club is growing. We got some cool things and things on the horizon that we hope that can, just continue to grow kayak bass fishing, in the state of Florida. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay where we're at and doing what we do best. There are going to be some changes that we'll address as we, going into next year. We're going to address some things that we're going to change. Nothing major, just kind of going back to our roots. We're not going to try to be something we're not. And we're going to just host really good, fun events, right? And getting back to what it means to be a part of the club. So super excited about that. And looking forward to what the club is going to do in 2026 and the rest of this year. But I do want to take a minute. I'm trying to find what else we were going to talk about. Oh, Tenoroc, Saddle Creek. What you got? So for those of you that don't know what Tenoroc is, it's a wildlife management area in Lakeland, Florida, that is operated by the state. And there's a pamphlet on the Facebook page, on the Facebook post that I created on the Tourney X dashboard that'll take you to their website. But what it is, for those, there's like 27 bodies of water all across, so many thousands of acres. And it's electric motor and kayak only, right? There are a few lakes in there that they're allowed to run their gas motor, but it's idle speed only. So it's a very, very, very cool place for folks in, smaller crafts to go out and, fish on these bodies of water. The one thing that I do want to say, because there was a post on our Facebook page that I wanted to address, please do your research. right? And on those bodies of water, there are limits to the number of boaters and kayakers that can go on a single body of water. It's not a free for all. You can't just show up to a lake, go through there and launch. You will have to go through the front gate entrance there, and provide them with the body of water that you want to fish. And there's a fee, there's a $3 fee that you'll pay. As long if you have a Sportsman Gold fishing license, like military members, they have the Sportsman Gold, it's free. Or if you're there might be other reasons why it's free, but it's $3. They do take cash or card there. I would just bring cash on to be on the safe side. That's the quickest method. But also to have backup lakes. If you go to a lake and you don't check in, they are monitored, and the FWC will write you a ticket. You have to be checked in, and they give you a little green card or blue card, and you stick it on your dashboard, and then you're good. If you want to move from that lake and go to another lake, that's 100% acceptable. You go back to the gate guard shack, you turn in your card for that lake and say, hey, I would like to go to wherever else. If that lake is available, they will give you the card for that lake, and then you can go and launch and relaunch onto that body of water. So there's no issues with you guys doing that. When you're done and for the tournament has ended, you guys will have to go back, turn in your card, and they will give you your fishing license back. So you will have to have a physical copy of your fishing license or a printed paper copy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the ID card, but you will have to have a driver's license, your fishing license. And if you don't have a ability to print it out and it's just like a digital copy, you can ask them for a paper license. They will give you a sheet of paper. You'll have to fill out your fishing license permit number and your information, and they will run it through their systems to make sure that is valid, and then you'll be good to go. But again, you must have a valid Florida fishing license to be able to access any body of water there. You need to have a Florida fishing license to compete in any of our events, but here they will not let you enter gain you access to any of those bodies of water without one. So just wanted to throw that out there, that you must have a physical copy of the card or the information to write it out on a sheet of paper that they'll give you. But to expedite the process, I highly encourage everybody just to have it printed out, hand it to them, know which lake that you plan on going to, and then do that. If they tell you that lake is full by the time you get there, have a second and a third or a fourth, right? And then middle of the day, if you want, get off the water and go try to fish the one that you originally planned to fish. By all means, you're more than welcome to do so. I will say Lake B is one of the largest ones that allows the most boats and lakes available. We'll go more in depth with that during the captain's meeting or another time, because I don't want to take up too much more time here with the live. But we did post the link to their website in their lake brochure that tells you how many lakes and kayaks are allowed or permitted on each body of water. So you can make your most educated plan as possible. But just kind of giving you guys a heads up there. Saddle Creek, there's no permit needed. You still need to obviously have a valid Florida fishing license. Those bodies of water there in Saddle Creek, if you type in the address to the award ceremony location, the bait and tackle shop address, literally half a mile down that road are public access launches to the left and right side of Saddle Creek there. And there's to my knowledge, no limit to how many boats can be on those bodies of water at any given time. So you have options there. Again, like I said, there's over 27 bodies of water that you guys have the ability to fish. I think Lake 5 is the other one that's at Tenoroc that is actually the largest and has multiple launch locations there. So again, do your homework. If you get a chance to go out there and pre-fish, by all means do so. Please make sure that you obey all laws when you're out there, speed limits and everything, because they are enforced by the FWC. Just make sure that you guys are locking up your vehicles and whatnot. That area has been known in the past when I went out there and fished for people to linger around some of those boat ramps. So just make sure you're locking yourself up. I haven't had too many issues in recent years, but when I first went out there, it was fairly, people were messing around, but I haven't heard of any reports. And if you have any questions too, I mean, Frizzy, I don't think Frizzy would mind. Frizzy, you can follow the Tenoroc Bass Fishing Facebook page. I know I've answered a couple questions on there for some folks that want to hop in and fish the event. But Tenoroc or Frizzy Zamora, he's a member of our club. He goes out there quite a bit and fishes on the weekend. So I'm sure he'd be more than happy to reach out and kind of, show you the ropes around those lakes. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. That used to be my home. That used to be my home body of water. I used to fish it every weekend. It was a ton of fun. A lot of really, really big fish in those bodies of water. And again, too, kind of like the North County Challenge, it's open. You can do anything you want to do in there. You can fish shallow. You can fish deep. There's some pits in there that are 30, 40 foot deep. So you got everything that you want. But yeah, if you have any questions about that, please reach out to one of us, and we'll be sure to answer any of those questions. But we try to do our best with our boundaries link and the websites and all of that, to make sure that you guys have the information you need to be able to pre-fish or plan accordingly. One thing to note for those of you that haven't been out there, some lakes have like paved boat ramps, and some lakes just have primitive launches. All launches are in play, right? If there's a boat or primitive launch on those lakes, you can use either or, right? So just want to make sure that I point that out there as well. The main thing here is just be mindful of the people around you. Maintain that sportsmanship, right? If you see people fishing a line, these lakes are generally smaller. Just make sure you're communicating with other anglers. And just saying, hey, do you mind if I fish this point or fish this bank here? I see, you're heading over there. Just be courteous and give other anglers. I've never been in a tournament in our club where someone says no, but still do your part and maintain that sportsmanship there. We've had events there in the past, right? And there has been some issues where anglers reported people cutting them off and not maintaining that 50-yard buffer. So just make sure, if you do so, if you need to correct an angler, make sure you do so in a professional manner, and handle it that way. And we'll move forward and address it as we need to. But yeah, Todd, anything you want to share? Anything I messed out about the Tenoroc Saddle Creek?
No, man, I'm just looking forward to it. I haven't fished Tenoroc in a couple of years, so I'm excited to get back down there.
Yeah, it's central. It's central location. It's a prime location. For those of you that don't know, too, there is a gate that doesn't allow you. It opens up, I believe, at like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. So lines in is still going to be 7:30. So make sure that you guys get there.
7:30, or are we gonna do it at 7:30?
Let me verify that real quick. I know I put it on the thing. Let me just make sure before I misspeak. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I know I think we left it the same, but let me check.
That way we can just go ahead and launch and automatically go fishing.
Yes. Yep. So lines in, looking at it right now, is going to be lines in is at 7, lines out at 3. So for those people, right, as soon as you guys get checked in and get to your lake, right, 7 o'clock, you guys can hit the water and start fishing. If you guys have primitive launches too, you guys can launch, get out, let other people use the ramp or the primitive launch area. Just, lines in for this event is 7 a.m. Last photo submission is going to be 3:30, like it is like the rest of the tournaments there. So should be fun, but definitely make sure. So yeah, David said gates open up at 6, so that gives an hour for people to get checked in, get their lake and get rigged up. And the cool thing about it too is when you're waiting in line at Tenoroc, you guys can get out and prep your kayaks to where whenever you get your card or wherever you can go and then just back right in and launch. So you can prep your kayak as much or as little as you want. It all depending on you. But I know when we used to get out there, we used to have everything set up and ready to go. So when we got to the lake, we could just dump and get out on the water. So be prepared. There is going to be a line depending on how many kayakers that sign up to fish this event. 20, 30, whatever the case is. There's also boaters, John boats, and people that go out there on the regular basis. So you can anticipate there to be a line. So the best way to, make it as fast as possible is make sure you have your fishing license out, make sure it's valid, make sure that you already have your lake identified on where you want to go and back up so that you're not holding up the line on the back end. So that's my advice to you guys. On the Tourney X dashboard, we have the Tenoroc Lake map link. You click that, it'll take you there to show you all the pamphlet for all the lakes. We have a boundaries link to include Saddle Creek and Tenoroc. If you enter a lake, you can go as far as you want, as far as the little creek arms will take you. But you must, in order to move lakes from one lake to another, you must go back to the guard shack, turn in your card for the one lake, and get the card for the next lake. You cannot skip lakes without obtaining the access card.
But that's not required for Saddle Creek, though. Just
Not for
Tenoroc.
Saddle Creek, just Tenoroc. Tenoroc is the only one that is monitored. Saddle Creek, you can flip and flop across the road as much or as little as you'd like. The award ceremony, I'm reaching out to Phillips Bait and Tackle Shop. They're located right on the corner of US 92, right there, right by Saddle Creek. They have really cool bait and tackle there. If you guys haven't been to that bait and tackle shop, it's really cool. But we're going to have our award ceremony right on the outskirts of that. I'm going to reach out to them and see if they'll let us have it in their area and have it opened up for people to get drinks and stuff. But more to come on that. I haven't heard back from the owner yet. But yeah, awards will start there at 4:30. But yeah, everything should be there as far as like links and stuff. So what did you pop up?
It was nothing. I accidentally hit the wrong thing.
So yeah, but
I'm
if you
trying
guys
to get the comments to scroll.
Gotcha. So yeah, if you guys have any questions related to the Tenoroc Saddle Creek event, again, I urge you guys to print out or familiarize yourself with the links for the maps, all the boundaries and everything. But again, like you said, let me know if you guys have any questions. And Jeff is looking for a teammate for the Kayak Adventure Series if anyone is interested. If you guys plan on going up there and fishing, definitely there's an individual and a team aspect to it. Last year, I believe Seth Taylor and Blake Abbey won the Ocala team first place, and then Harrelson won first place individual, and I won I got second place in the individual. So we did really well. I hope that there's a large turnout there for the Kayak Adventure Series on the northwest side of Florida. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I do want to give a huge shout out to Blake Abbey for taking home second place in our North County Challenge. He was at the top of the leaderboard the whole tournament, and then Mitchell comes out of nowhere and with those two big fish and takes over with 92 inches. I also want to give a huge shout out to Blake Abbey and Kylie Short. They took home second place in the Team Kayak Series tournament that was on the Harris Chain this past weekend, as well as Wendy Biles and her husband. They took home ninth place. So we had two teams in the top 10 for the Team Kayak Series this past weekend, which was huge. Really surprised that there weren't more Florida anglers that signed up for that event. I didn't know that it was happening that close, or we would have advertised it and pushed it out a little bit more. But Florida has been getting hit pretty hard with a bunch of tournaments. So I can see where that kind of fell off. But huge congratulations to Blake. Would love to have him on, but I know he's busy, probably spending some really valuable time with his kids, and Kylie as well. Congratulations on your guys' second place there. Well deserved. So again, yeah, Florida anglers are doing huge things. Super excited. Love seeing it. Love seeing you guys being successful out there on the water, and really just being huge sports and advocates for all things kayak bass fishing. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Sharing the love of the sport, being good, kind human beings, and ultimately, we all love doing the same thing, and that's fishing, right? So we all share the same passion and love for something, which, is truly, awesome. Met a lot of really good people, right? So super grateful for, the opportunity this club has put me in, but also, all across the country. You go anywhere, and share and fish with someone, you're probably going to leave with another friend. So super grateful. And yeah, that's all I got, Todd. You got anything you'd like to add?
No, man, I think you summed it up very well, man. And looking forward to here in a couple of weeks getting out on Tenoroc, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout and we'll have some big bass showing up because
Yeah.
it does have some big bass out there.
Yeah. And I do want to hit on something outside of the club, outside of this, right? One thing I mean, I'm a numbers data guy. I spend a lot of time talking on the phone with some of the guys, Blake and those guys from the Bass Nation side, right? Feedback as far as like looking at it from years past, right? And participation and whatnot. I want to know feedback. If you guys have feedback on things that we can do to boost participation from not just from our club, but just from kayak bass fishing in Florida in general. What can we do as directors and people who want to host these events, right? What can we do to better, suit the consumer or the angler, right? Like we don't want to hinder anyone's ability to fish any of the events. We want everyone to be able to have an opportunity to fish bass, to fish FKBT, to fish Bassmaster that are planning on traveling to outside the different states, kayak adventure series, team kayak series, native no limit, right? We're open. Our ears are open. We got some things that we're going to do internally that are going to, going back to lowering the cost of entry fees to what it was originally is one of the things that we plan on doing next year. I'll kind of throw that out there. We're going to go back to the $50 entry fees with the optional big bass. We wanted to try something a little bit different this year for based off feedback that we were given. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the people that, some of that feedback that was given, those anglers aren't necessarily participating in the tournament. And that's just, are in our club this year. So, and that's fine. That's okay. I think it helps as far as like boosting payouts, right? Because money that comes in is the money that goes back out, right? We, as our club, just our club I can speak on, we don't request or solicit money to help from sponsors to help boost payouts or whatnot. It's what comes in. Participation is what gets paid out. So what we're going to move to next year is back to $50 with an optional big bass. We're going to continue to do the lunker. We're going to continue to do our monthly tournaments, maybe be spread out a little bit. It might look a little different for when the tournaments are going to happen. Just to give anglers more time in between events to be able to either, if it's money, save money, if it's pre-fishing opportunities, what have you, right? So we're going to try to do travel. Yeah, there's so many variables that go into it, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to put forward a product that, you guys as anglers, feel comfortable in. And if it's whatever we can do to maximize that is exactly what we're going to do. Because at the end of the day, this club isn't anything if it's just me, Todd, Sean, and them, right? We need people to want to come and participate in these events because, a lot goes into it behind the scenes. And we want to make sure that the product that we're putting out is something that anglers enjoy and have fun doing. So that's the main thing. People have fun, are safe, and want to come back out and fish some of these events. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on that we've already been talking about some of those things on what we can do. Again, we're not going to open a lot of things up this year for feedback, but there are a few things that we're going to reach out and ask for your guys's aspect on, and then we're gonna open up the season and have a good year. I'm excited about next year. We hadn't even got there yet, but there's going to be some fun things that we're going to try to do and keep it interesting. But again, too, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Todd.
Absolutely.
And again, love you guys. I'll be leaving here, and I'll be here, like I said, kind of in and out. There's some good news. I might be moving a little bit further south, a little potentially. I won't necessarily release it yet because there's some things that are happening before it that I can't talk about. But yeah, there's an opportunity for me to move down south. So we'll see how that goes. And when the time comes to where it's official, you'll probably see it on my social media pages, but super excited and grateful for that. So yeah, more to come with that. So Todd's got some things going on too. So super excited for him to be in Central Florida. for another
Yeah.
year at least. And then Sean might be back down in Central Florida for good around this time next year. So a lot of good things are coming for the FKBT, and everybody's potentially going to be back together here soon. So, which is
Yeah,
exciting.
we'll be in Claremont next week. We'll be closing on our new house there, so we'll be in Claremont, close to a lot of people. So looking
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah, super excited. So appreciate you guys. We're 9 minutes past our hour mark, but it's some good conversations and some things that I wanted to express before you guys probably won't see me for a while. So I wanted to hop on and kind of give you guys a rundown on that. And as time permits, I'll hop on here and there. You'll still see me on social media, posting things and that sort of thing. But you're probably going to see a lot more of Todd, Sean, Jeff, and those guys moving forward. So again, keep the people overseas in your prayers with everything that's going on around the world. For those of you that are serving or have family members that are serving overseas, you guys are in our thoughts and prayers. So
And we appreciate you guys.
yeah, we surely appreciate those that are fighting to keep this country free. So yep, that's all I'll kind of say about that. Yeah, that was pretty funny. David said Todd changes houses almost as fast as Mitchell changes kayaks. But yeah, again, drop a comment. If you're watching this afterwards, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions, we'll reach out to you. But until then, God bless, tight lines. And yeah, best of luck as you guys compete throughout the country in the next coming weeks. So bring home some trophies. See ya.
Peace out.